All right, let's jump right into this explainer. May 2026. This was literally the day Google dropped the agentic future right on our heads, and the whole industry had to scramble to keep up. We just witnessed the most news-dense day in AI this entire year, packed with monumental shifts that are fundamentally reshaping how we interact with technology on a minute-by-minute basis. We are going to fly through 5 massive shifts today at lightning speed, meeting your new 24/7 AI, Google's total multimodal domination, the rival AI ecosystem fighting back, what this means for our actual power grid, and finally the law, ethics, and the resistance. Okay, part 1. Meet your 24/7 AI. We got to start with the absolute biggest hook from Google I/O. I want you to seriously think about this for a second. What if your AI literally never went to sleep? Until now, AI's been kind of like a tool, right? You open an app, you type a prompt, you wait, you close it. Well, forget that. We are officially shifting from these basic wait-for-your-command chatbots to fully autonomous agents that are just always on, running in the background. Enter Gemini Spark. This right here is the ultimate game changer. Spark is a personal AI agent that runs 24/7 on Google Cloud virtual machines, meaning you could completely slam your laptop shut, lose your phone in the couch cushions, and Spark, it just keeps working. It's powered by Gemini 3.5 Flash and Google's completely new anti-gravity framework. It just sort of taps you on the shoulder with its progress using Android Halo, which is this brand new notification layer built right into your status bar. Launching next week for US Ultra subscribers, by the way.
So how does this actually look in the real world? At the live I/O blog party demo, Google had Spark plan an entire neighborhood event completely on its own. It yanked RSVPs from Gmail, realized who was ignoring the invite, drafted the follow-up emails, spun up a live tracker in Google Sheets, and honestly, this is my favorite part. It built a whole Google Slides hype deck with bounce house rules it dug out of some random file in Google Drive. It did all that heavy lifting across workspace and then just neatly queued it all up for a human to hit OK. I mean, think about the time saved here. It's ridiculously fast, insanely capable, and yeah, it drops next week.
Moving on to part 2, Google's multimodal domination. To really grasp the sheer scale of Google's new AI architecture, you have to look at this number. 9.7 trillion. That is the number of tokens Google is chewing through every single month, thanks to over 900 million active Gemini users. That market reach is it's absolutely staggering. And it's the foundation for this whole next wave of models. So how do these new models actually change what you do every day? Let's take Gemini Omni. This is their unified model that crushes text, image, and video together right in the Gemini app today. In the demo, someone uploaded a cooking video, typed a few words, and the AI just reframed the shot, dropped in some ambient music, and slapped a recipe card over it. We're talking real conversational video editing. And then there's Gemini 3.5 Flash, which is now powering Search AI mode, making it 12 times faster in anti-gravity, completely turning Google Search into a proactive AI engine. Oh, and Gemini 3.5 Pro, their flagship reasoning model, that goes into testing next month. And they're baking this intelligence into absolutely everything. Ask YouTube. You can now throw complex questions at it, and instead of just dumping a 2-hour video on you, it spits back exact time-stamped clips. And then there's Universal Cart. This thing is wild. It tracks prices, checks if stuff is compatible, and actually handles the checkout for you across the entire internet. It's a massive, direct shot at Amazon's e-commerce empire. But you have to see what they did with the pricing. Google absolutely gutted the entry cost for their top tier. They took their old $250 a month plan with its daily limits and swapped it for a $100 compute-based model. So every 5 hours, boom, your compute limits refresh. You get 5 times higher usage limits, 20 terabytes of storage, and of course, access to Gemini Spark. This aggressive cut is going to put massive, massive financial pressure on guys like OpenAI and Anthropic. So how are you supposed to actually interact with all this cheap, super powerful AI? Enter the newly confirmed Android XR smart glasses, dropping this fall. Built with Samsung and Qualcomm, with frames from Gentle Monster and Warby Parker. They come in 2 flavors, audio only, or this really cool private in-lens display version. But here's the absolute kicker, the thing that totally one-ups Meta's Ray-Bans. These glasses tie directly into your always-on Gemini Spark agent. You literally just talk to your glasses, and your 24/7 agent gets right to work. All right, part 3, the rival AI ecosystem. Let's see how the rest of the ecosystem is handling this, because Apple, Amazon, and Cursor, they are definitely not sitting on the sidelines. The biggest structural deal in consumer tech right now is this insane $1 billion a year partnership between Apple and Google. Gemini is now officially the intelligence layer running under the hood of 2 billion Apple devices. Starting this spring in iOS 26.4, Gemini gives Siri deep context awareness. And by September, right alongside the iPhone 18, we're getting a fully conversational, multi-turn Siri. Meanwhile, over in the developer space, Cursor is just completely undercutting the big guys. They just dropped Composer 2.5. It matches the coding benchmarks of Claude Opus 4.7 and GPT 5.5, but for a fraction of the cost. It is super optimized for those crazy complex multi-file coding loops. And get this, Elon Musk actually confirmed on X that this new Cursor model was partially trained on SpaceX's Colossus 2 supercomputer. How wild is that? And over in the audio world, Amazon's Alexa is swinging back hard. They just launched on-demand AI podcasts for Alexa Plus. They're using Claude under the hood now, so you can just ask Alexa to make a podcast about literally anything. It instantly generates a whole conversational episode with 2 AI co-hosts debating and explaining the topic. It is clearly a direct, fast-paced response to how viral Google's Notebook LM got.
Okay, part 4, powering the AI grid. Now, all of this relentless AI growth, the 24/7 agents, the glasses, these massive trillion-parameter models, it requires an unimaginable amount of physical infrastructure. And that's leading us to a colossal real-world shift in our energy markets. $67 billion, that is the price tag of NextEra's merger with Dominion Energy, the largest utility merger in U.S. history. And the explicitly stated reason for this massive deal? To handle AI-driven power demand.
To put this corporate merger into perspective for your own life, by 2030, AI data centers are projected to suck up 15 to 25% of all electricity in the U.S. America's actual physical power grid is fundamentally being ripped up and rebuilt, not because regular consumers are growing, but to handle hyperscale AI training and inference. Right now, power availability is literally the ultimate bottleneck for the future of AI.
Which brings us to part 5, law, ethics, and resistance.
Look, when tech moves this fast, society is going to push back. On the legal front, a massive chapter just closed. Elon Musk completely lost his lawsuit against OpenAI. They spent 11 days arguing whether OpenAI abandoned its nonprofit mission, and it took a California federal jury less than 2 hours to unanimously reject all of Musk's claims. They ruled the whole thing was barred by the statute of limitations. That clears a huge hurdle for OpenAI. And as for Musk's XAI project, it's officially dissolved as an independent company and has been folded right into the SpaceX AI division. And the ethical pushback? It is operating on a truly historical scale. Pope Leo XIV is releasing the first ever papal AI encyclical. It's called Magnifica Humanitas, Magnificent Humanity. The Catholic Church is deliberately, explicitly framing artificial intelligence as the industrial revolution of our time. They are focusing intensely on labor rights, human dignity, and the moral boundaries of these autonomous systems. But what's genuinely fascinating is who the Vatican invited to stand next to the Pope for the launch. Christopher Olah, the co-founder of Anthropic. Olah is a total pioneer in mechanistic interpretability, which is basically the science of trying to peek inside the black box and figure out how neural networks actually think. The Vatican explicitly teaming up with a deep tech AI transparency researcher instead of just talking generic ethics shows a really sophisticated strategy for navigating this era. Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway from this massively packed explainer. From Gemini Spark working autonomously in the cloud while you sleep, to $67 billion utility mergers, to the highest moral authorities stepping in. I want to leave you with this. In a world where AI agents never sleep, and they're reshaping everything from our physical power grid to our moral laws, where exactly does humanity fit in? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one.